When you get into a self-defense situation, you're always going to need a way to defend yourself against your attacker. I would simply start off with a knife. I would definitely not use this knife to defend myself. Number one, because this is more of like a civilian-friendly knife, so to speak. If you pull this out in a supermarket, you need to cut something. They're not going to be like, "Oh my God, he's got a tactical knife. He's got a black knife." The black knife adds a scare factor. I would definitely not use a knife like this to cut something in public. But anyways, I wouldn't use this knife for two main reasons. Number one, you don't have a good reach. You only have, and you can't hold this knife back here and have it secure. It just comes right out of your hand. One, security. Two, you don't have good enough penetration. These knives are plenty sharp, and they got 3 little blades on them. But more blades doesn't mean better. I would definitely go with a bigger blade. So this gets checked off my list. This is my little civilian-friendly knife. This knife, however, is much better for defending yourself because you get a more secure grip and you get a bigger reach. Still not the best though. I would use this for a work knife, like for cutting tacks, because this knife is about 2 years old and it's in good condition, but it's beat up. Today I got my Frost Cutlery knife that I'm going to be carrying for defensive purposes. It has a pretty big blade on it, as you can tell. Well, let's start with the review. Start with the handles real quick. It has aluminum handles that are drilled out to reduce weight. This knife is very heavy though. I don't know how heavy it is, but I'm estimating it to be 8 ounces or so. It's a pretty heavy knife. But the heavier the knife, you can get more momentum behind it when you have to thrust with it, which is a good thing. It's very well put together. It has little hex screws that keep it together, as well as on the other side. And while I'm on the other side, I'll show you that it has a pocket clip that is held in with 3 little hex screws. This pocket clip is very stiff though. That's one of the only parts I didn't like about this knife. A bonus of this knife is that you can take these screws out and flip this pocket clip, over and bolt it in right here, and you can keep it right there for a tip-up carry. That means that your pocket's here, the clip's coming down, and say this is your pocket, you carry the knife tip up, so when you draw it out, it's like that, so you can pull it easier. Or, not pull it easier, use it easier, sorry. See, goes to the blade. Before you get to the blade, it has an oversized thumb stud. Very good thing to have on a knife. And it also has a flipper from which you can flip the knife open very easy. Move these out of the way. Okay. It says Frost Cutlery right here. It just says Frost USA. See, I don't know exactly what the name of this, the style of this edge is, but for right now I'm just going to call it a spear point, because it kind of looks like a spear. It's got a big cutting surface right here on the blade. See, it's a liner lock, and it has metal liners. Most people say metal liners aren't good, but this knife does lock up very, very securely, and it's not going to go anywhere. There's no play on it either way. This knife is very solid. The person who I got this from was at a pawn shop, and it has been used a little bit, but the person before they pawned it did a really good job sharpening up this edge, and they put like a mirror finish on the edge, which is very nice. I'll show you a real quick cutting test. Just shaves right off. It's beautiful. This knife will shave arms. It's how sharp that is. Another part I didn't like about this knife, the only other complaint I had, is right here. I don't know if you can see it through the camera. It says China right there. It's that little mark. That's not a real big issue for me, but I would have liked it to be made in somewhere like Finland or America or Germany even. Somewhere where you know they're going to put out a good product and you're going to get a lot for your money. I got this knife for $15. They don't make this knife anymore though, so I don't know the name. I looked on the website, tried to find the name. I don't know if it's just a cheap knockoff, but I'm telling you right now, if you see this knife, you better pick it up because it is well worth the money. You're getting everything you're paying for in this knife. That concludes my review of I'm going to call it a Frost self-defense knife. Thank you guys for tuning in.